Hi, my name is Jessica Slies, and I am a graduate of John Casablancas. And I just want to start off by saying how grateful I am to them because without John Casablancas, I wouldn't have had such an amazing year acting-wise as I did last year. I was cast in their orientation video. It was a play on TMZ, TJC. I was the character of Siobhan, which was a fun, straight-laced character to play. I also was fortunate enough to be cast in my first ever leading role, and not just leading role, but title role. I was cast as Mackenzie Phillips in an episode of Price of Fame that's shot right here in Dallas. And it was only one episode, but I was the main character, and I've been acting since I was a kid, and it was my first time being cast as a lead role, so it really was a big deal for me. And I mean, it was a television show. It's going to appear on the Reels channel, um, and it paid like a television show, which was also nice. Um, I've definitely experienced some pretty cool stuff because of JC. I've also, it didn't happen this past year, but I was in a Subaru commercial. Um, I've been in a few car commercials, just, background extras, nothing too fancy. Um, and I've done a lot of auditions. That's the thing. Just because they get you auditions doesn't mean you're going to land them. That's just the life of an actor. Your job isn't necessarily always acting, your job is to audition. And JC provides those for you, and of course you're not going to be perfect for every part because, if they're looking for an all African American cast, I'm usually SOL. So it's just, if you do fit, they contact you and they reach out to you. And if they think you really fit, they really encourage you. I remember for the part that I got cast as Mackenzie Phillips, my agent Stephanie, um, like personally texted me. It was like, "Hey, I really want you to apply for this one. I think you'll get it." And you know, her instincts were dead on. So I know there's a bad stigma about JC. I am aware of the bad stigma, and I would like to address that by saying, if you think JC is a scam, I would tell you I used to be just like you. I was in a dark place in my life, but I wanted to start acting again, so I found John Casablancas. It said it was an agency, and that's what I needed. So I went in, I auditioned, and they passed me. I guess you could say I passed the test. But I did notice they pass a lot of people, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It has people from all ages, of all different talent levels. And basically, you have to start somewhere. If you apply to any agency, especially if you're a beginner, 9 times out of 10, they're going to recommend you get some experience before you apply to them. And I think John Casablancas is a great way to get that experience. And I also believe that's why that they're a non-exclusive agency, because they want you to branch out. They want you to find that exclusive agency that will represent you as best as you can be represented. But this is a stepping stone to get to that agency. They do offer classes and they teach you things that are important. They teach you everything that a actor model needs to know, including health, which I thought was a neat class, makeup for both men and women, because believe it or not, guys, you do have to wear makeup too in this industry. Um, yeah, they break it down for you, and it is a positive learning environment, so maybe they don't critique you as much as you would like. But I believe in positive reinforcement, so I think there's nothing wrong with that. And it's I it was an enjoyable experience for the most part, and I've benefited greatly from being a part of John Casablancas. And I wouldn't even still being my dream of being an actress if it hadn't been for them, because every time I'm like, I don't think I'm cut out for this, they'll send me an audition and I'll try for it, and I'll get a call back, or I'll get it, and it just kind of sparks that interest in me again. I guess I'll close by saying that you can't expect to finish with John Casablancas and suddenly magically start getting roles left and right, start landing every single audition that you do. Because realistically, that's just not how it works. We're constantly learning, we're constantly growing, and you really have to work on your craft. If you do, put in your best effort and make the most out of your time at JC, you will get something out of it. It will be beneficial. They'll recognize that in you, they'll see that, and they'll remember you. And when roles come up or auditions come up, they'll be like, oh, hey, I remember that girl or that guy. I'm gonna, reach out to them. So this industry, if you're seriously considering being an actor, actress, model, whatever, networking is a big one, and there are some people at JC who can help you out, who can help you meet new people, and they have those connections that you just can't get by yourself without an agency. So my experience with them has been a positive one. If you're considering trying for JC and you're a beginner, I highly recommend going for John Casablancas.